All right, so NFL on Netflix. Boy, did they hit that out of the park in comparison to the Jake Paul and Mike Tyson fight. What a picture. What sound. Absolutely phenomenal. Without a hitch, they pulled that off that way. Folks, this is not just the future, it is the now. This is Netflix and Amazon's play forever now. The days of Fubu, you're gone. Disney, you're in big trouble. Netflix and Amazon has a grip on this now. The public is going to demand this, and they're prepared for it and have been preparing for it. You obviously have Thursday Night Football on Amazon and an occasional game that's mixed in there. You obviously have Netflix that's had their first foray into the NFL. They've done it with Jake Paul and Mike Tyson. I mean, you can argue that that's an event that shouldn't have happened, right? But the fact that they had it means a lot. You're seeing this go right into the live streaming. I mean, this is tailor-made for the NFL and CBS and NBC, all of this stuff with Peacock and all of this. I think you're going to see all of them, including ESPN, on the outside looking in. This is the new era of how we're going to watch live events and how we're going to watch sports. There's a reason that I'm doing this live with you right now versus recorded. I could record this and put this out at any time. Live sports, live broadcasting, live podcasting, live anything is the now and it's the future. That doesn't mean that there's not a place or a space, in my opinion, for some of the other things in terms of podcasting, but people want to see live. They want to see it now. They want to see it in the spot. I want it now. Here it is. And Netflix and Amazon is positioned to do that. Now, one thing that I can tell you that was a complete and total flop, in my opinion, and I'm sorry to say it that way, because I know those people worked hard to prepare for this, but the studio, not the decor, that's nice, but the choices for it, not very good, and they need to fix that. But you see, that is fixable. The product on the field is extraordinary. The production quality of it is extraordinary. The actual creation of a studio and everything you're doing, all at the highest level. The studio production in terms of that group and RG3, no one wants to watch that nonsense, man. You were doing a good job as a color commentator, and I was actually starting to like you. And then you come out with this silly stuff and you're putting your feet up on the desk, showing your glitter shoes and whatever those were, a penalty flag in a weird color hanging from the back of your pants while you get up and you go and do a screen analysis. It's comical. Nobody wants to see that, bud, honestly. And I think you'll see enough of the fans demand that they don't see that. They just don't want to see that. They don't want to see you shoving your face in a velvet football cake either. It's just silliness. People turn that on. They're not looking for shock value, entertainment value. They're looking for a football experience. They're looking to be entertained, but they're not looking to see that nonsense. There are enough outlets and enough places where you could go get your kicks on Facebook or go, on Reels or YouTube or some other TikTok, some other place to see all that stuff. Don't ruin the experience. And Netflix, don't ruin the experience for us fans. Please, please, please don't do it. Don't do it. Drew Brees is too buttoned up. Robert Griffin, out of control. Manti Te'o, it's just not a fit. How is this guy's basically his first foray, mostly his first foray into broadcasting going to be on this massive stage with the most ever that watched a football game in history? I don't quite understand that. Got to fix that up. I say this over and over and over as well, and I'm adamant about this. Troy Aikman is not the best color commentator in the world. Tony Romo is not the best color commentator in the world. Tom Brady is not and will not be the best color commentator in the world in football. Hands down, the best color commentator for football in the history of football, the present and is the future model, is Greg Olsen. And Netflix had him on. Fantastic. And I'm sure this has already happened. If I had to guess, this has already happened. Build your entire network, Netflix, your entire platform from a football perspective around Greg Olsen. He stands for everything that the game should be. And I don't know Greg Olsen, okay? I have no horse in this race. I'm telling you strictly from a fan's perspective and a man who breaks down the game in a way that no one else does. Romo's in second place. Brady's in third place. And Troy Aikman, sorry, Troy, you're a legendary name. You've been doing it a long time, but you're the master of the obvious. You tell everybody what we're watching. That's not what you're paid to do. You're paid to tell us and reverberate or regurgitate kind of what we're watching, but you're there to teach us maybe what we don't know and get us informed on what we can expect. Greg Olsen is a master of that. Tony Romo is also very, very good, and I think he's actually, to tell you the truth, he's a bit underrated, and he takes a lot of heat. I don't think Tom Brady is going to stay in the booth. And you heard it here. Mark this down, and I'm going to cut this up in a clip, and I'm going to put it everywhere. I see Tom Brady, if he doesn't leave the booth with Fox, and he's going to walk away from that money. I don't know how much of it is guaranteed. I don't have the numbers in front of me here. Whatever it is, it's irrelevant. I think you're going to see either at the end of this year or at the end of next year, you're going to see Tom Brady leave the booth and go run the entire franchise as president of basketball. Please, that's another topic I'm going to get into. As president of football operations and run the Raiders. I truly believe that. They need it. He's a great guy for it. He's connected where he needs to be for it. People will listen to him. People will want to come there because of him. The Vegas play, and everything that Vegas is, Tom Brady is perfect for that. It was perfect to bring him in as a minority owner. I think you will see him take a more larger piece of the Oakland Raiders. I think Mark Davis knows that that's the right move. I think Mark Davis knows that he needs them, and you can't just keep on going on and hiring general managers and firing them and hiring coaches and fire them. Got to get this right. Tom Brady is restricted as to what he can do from the booth. So I think you'll see Brady slide over end of this year or end of next and rebuild the Raiders. So it's Greg Olsen's show. If I'm you, Netflix, go all out. Build it all around him. Amazon, you have Kirk Herbstreit. Yeah, he's never really been a pro guy, mostly until Thursday Night Football. You made your move with him. Now Netflix, make your move with Greg Olsen. It'd be extraordinary for both networks, and I think that's just perfect. And another note on Greg Olsen, and maybe one of the reasons, too, that I'm partial to Greg Olsen is, yeah, Tom Brady's a big name. He had a contract in place, all this. Greg Olsen was on the #1 broadcasting team. And dude got benched for something, that he didn't do. Is already the best at it in the world, in my opinion, previous to taking a backseat to Brady. But you took a backseat to Brady because of who Brady is. And in the end, I think that Greg Olsen's going to win this. I really do. He's going to be on the largest streaming platform in the world as it relates to football. I think that Netflix will have the edge. They'll go head to head. It'll be the old CBS and NBC or Fox and CBS type of thing from a TV perspective to a streaming platform perspective. But Greg Olsen will be the man for one, and Kirk Herbstreit will be the man for the other. And love you, Al Michaels. I really do. But I noticed last week, I think it was, I looked you up, put a post up on X. I didn't realize you were 80 years old. You've been a legend, some of the greatest calls in history. Do you believe in miracles? All of it. Time to step away, Al, and Amazon. Time to get him. And by the way, if I'm Netflix, and not because he shares the same last name as me, but I'm looking for Kevin Burkhardt too, right? Because Greg Olsen isn't the play-by-play guy. He's the analyst. If you can get Burkhardt and Greg Olsen together, do it. Buy out their contract right now and pay him to sit if you have to. Just totally buy it out. And I think you're going to see Amazon and Netflix do that, by the way. I don't know what the current TV contracts are in terms of length, but I think you're going to see Amazon and Netflix make a play to buy out the contracts and start sooner. Clay Travis, who is the founder of Outkick that I follow quite a bit, and I'm constantly on his feed, and he was actually responding the other day. Um, he posed the question: do you think that the NFL Super Bowl will be on a streaming platform within the next 10 years? And I responded to him and I said, Clay, I'm with you that that's the direction that it's going, but I think that this is inside of a 5-year play. And I think probably the only way to do that, because of contracts, is to buy them out. Amazon and Netflix have the ability in pockets and enough people behind it that they could make that happen. And again, the production value and quality of the broadcast will help push that. It's not just a money game. The fans will demand, in my opinion, the fans will demand that continued experience. It's just better. It's just better than what CBS or NBC or Fox can do. So why would you take a step backwards? When you're presenting your case and you're saying invest into us, NFL, and here's the reasons why, it's a more compelling case for Amazon and it's a more compelling case for Netflix. And by the way, I've seen people say, "Why I need 4 networks now to watch a football game?" And I was watching it for free before. Well, you weren't watching it for free before because you're paying for cable and it came with cable. I think most of us all have Netflix, so that's not an additional expense. Most of us have Amazon Prime, and if you have Amazon Prime for all of our shipping packages, which has obviously changed the world, you have Amazon Video, and so you download the app on your TV or on your phone, and you have it. So this is already built in, folks. There isn't much that needs to happen to have this take hold. It's really kind of seamless, and it's all been leading to this. I also think, and I think that this is going to be a huge power play. 3 of the largest online betting sites in the world is BetMGM, DraftKings, and FanDuel. Okay, I think you're going to see Netflix or Amazon try to acquire each of them, try to acquire at least one of them. And there might be a consolidation at some point, aside from this, because there's just too many. And even of the ones like PointsBet, and there's a ton out there. I think you're going to see those naturally condense and go to more big players as it is, and those 3 names being the biggest players. But I think you're going to see Bezos, or you're going to see somebody really get behind it and push it. And you're going to see one or more of those go onto each platform. And I think you're going to see a live betting experience right on your television. So just like you see it on your phone, I think you're going to see it on your television. Now, Fubo was making this play, and this is going to blow them out of the water. Disney's trying to do something with ESPN, but they're behind. I don't think that they're going to be able to get this. And there's a lot of problems, and there's lawsuits going on between Fubo and Disney. But this was Fubo's vision, but they just didn't have the means to get it done. And they were doing the foreign sports and soccer and things like that. And Netflix just is blowing right past that. And so Fubo is like $1.30 a share now. And it was 48 3 years ago, $48 a share. And I owned it for a short period of time. And then the bottom fell out because they can't get it done. Netflix and Amazon can execute this. It's the logical solution. And I think you'll see the betting sites load up with that. I think you're seeing it with football, and you will see the natural evolution of all sports and all live events go to that. And I think personally, this is my opinion, and I'm going to talk about one of their broadcasters here in a bit. I think ESPN is in a lot of trouble. I think they've turned off a lot of people. I think it's just, I'll use the word woke. Let's go ahead and use the word woke. They've gotten themselves in a lot of trouble. They've turned off a lot of people. They've used the platform to push a certain type of agenda and have gotten away from what put them where they were or where they are. And they've gotten away from that. And hopefully Netflix and Amazon don't do that. Just give us the experience that we want. And if we want to get into all of that other stuff, there are places for all of us to go and have those conversations or get that information. So Netflix, Amazon Prime, you're on the right track. I think this is a sooner than later. Super Bowl's coming. Online gambling or betting is going to be on your sites. It's a much better experience. And I think you guys hit a home run with it, Netflix. That was just amazing, but fix the studio. That has to be fixed and fast.